Hey, can I ask you a question? What part of marketing goes into someone's decision, an advisor's decision to transition? How important is it?
You mean like the marketing capabilities at a specific firm?
Yeah. Is
Um,
it is it an afterthought or is it something that's on the table?
I think it's a huge part of the decision. I think a big issue out there when financial advisors explore a firm, they'll ask a firm, "Hey, do you have digital marketing?" And they'll just ask that one question. The firm will say yes, and they'll go on. But I think there's a lot of other questions to ask in there that really differentiate some firms, versus another. Even on the independent side, where a lot of financial advisors perceive ultimate flexibility, there's some firms out there that allow financial advisors to post videos in real time, and if compliance in the background sees something that they don't like, they could take that down. So like if you wanted to do a video about Ukraine and how it's impacting the markets or something like that, at a lot of firms it could take more than a week to get an approval, and that video might not be relevant by the time that it comes out. Some firms allow you to do that in real time. So some firms just have a lot more flexibility from that standpoint. They might have a marketing person to support them and kind of help financial advisors in some ways, kind of like you do, to be their guide through the process. So some firms embrace social media marketing a lot more than others, and digital marketing, and some have a lot more restrictions. So I'd say it's a big part of the process with a lot of financial advisors, but I think it's really important to dig in and ask the right questions. How long is your turnaround time on videos? Do you allow us to make, custom graphics? The things that really differentiate yourselves and give you a voice. At some firms, you have the ability to have a much louder voice than others. So big part of the decision-making process, but there's a lot of questions to ask.
That makes sense. How do you see, from your purview, do you see progression taking place, or is it have a lot of firms kind of dug their heels in on their policies and that's going to be the way it's going to be?
I think a lot of firms, I think there's two, clear directions. I think there's, some firms that are just continuing to double down, and I mean, you could just go on LinkedIn and you can see really obviously the firms that are ahead of the pack. I mean, there's just some independent firms out there that have no financial advisors on social media at all. So I think there's a bunch of firms dumping millions of dollars into helping it be easier. And then I think there's a lot of firms that are going, in the opposite direction.